Are we live? Are we live? We haven't done one of these for ages, so pardon me for being a bit rusty. We used to do these every Sunday. We've been super busy, a lot of traveling, as you guys know. Just so much has been going on for me in the last couple of months. So apologies for not getting these done. We are going to try and become a bit more consistent with them, but as you guys know, shit happens in the world of boxing. So thank you so much for coming through on a Thursday evening. I don't think we've ever done one on a Thursday. Don't know why. I think we can keep doing these if time permits. Obviously, we're going to focus on the AJ, Dillian Whyte, Helenius situation. We're going to talk about Derek Chisora on the undercard against Gerald Washington, Hergovich versus Dempsey McKean, Johnny Fisher going for his first title. Look, we can talk about Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Jake Paul, Nate Diaz, whatever you guys want. We can do it for the next hour or so. But yeah, let's wait for a few more people to get into the live. I see a few people saying congratulations on the 48,000 subscribers. Crazy, right? We're going to get to that 50 very, very quick. We're going to get to the 50. And as you guys know, once we get to the 50, we're going to do a big giveaway. That's what I promised. I don't know what is considered big in today's world, but we're going to give some shit away regardless. How crazy was it for Amanda Serrano to give me some trainers? The trainers are over there. Amanda Serrano bought me some trainers. I just find it so kind, honestly, so kind of her. I didn't expect it. I mean, I can buy them myself, but she decided to buy them for me. And if I wasn't a fan of her already, which I am, I'm certainly a fan now. So she's bought me. You bought me, Amanda. I'm now Team Amanda Serrano all the way. Dallas was amazing, by the way. The hottest place I've ever been on this earth. Bear in mind, your boy lived in Africa for 4 years nearly. There wasn't a place in Africa that was as hot as Dallas. It was incredible. It was ridiculous. But it helped me lose a bit of weight. Can you guys see that I've lost the weight? Obviously, we're trying to get to 175 pounds. We've got, I think, 17 days left. We are 6 kilos away from the target. So we're going to get there. All right. Quite a few of you are in the live now. I think there's nearly a couple of hundred of you. Let me do what I normally do, which is say hello to everyone that's left a comment. You guys can see the comment section. Leave a comment there if you want me to read it out. And I will before we get into the nitty gritty of AJ, Dillian Whyte, unfortunately, pissing hot, and Helenius being the replacement. Let's quickly highlight a few people. Matthew Shepard, yesterday, firstly, big congrats on your continued success at the Zone and Talk Sport. It's the takeover. Loved the chat with Ariel and Wade last week. Don't let the green chair die. Never. People ask me about that all the time, actually, about the green chair. Ade, you still going to do the green chair? You guys know every time I'm away, the first thing I do, I put my suitcase to one side. In fact, I don't. I just dump it outside and we get to the green chair and film straight away. Even with obviously doing way more stuff for TalkSport and DAZN, I still try and make sure we do at least 4, sometimes 5 videos a week. So yeah, the green chair ain't going anywhere. Honestly, it's super important. Secondly, you must talk to Chisora. Should he be fighting? Has he taken too many punches already? It sounds like we may be seeing the side effects already, but I hope not. AJ wins by KO in 6. To the first point about Chisora, he's going to fight. Chisora is one of those people, I've just having been around him now for a few years, no one is going to tell Derek Chisora what to do. No one. He just loves fighting. He doesn't do it for the money. Well, he does. That's a lie. He obviously wants to get paid, but he's not broke. He's not one of those fighters that I think need the paycheck. He will take the paycheck, but he doesn't need it. So he's doing it purely because he loves it. Look, they've got to be careful. Like Gerald Washington's a puncher as well. So yeah, maybe it's a good thing that Gerald Washington is just a puncher. And what I mean by that is that if Chisora's fighting someone that's not very heavy-handed, I feel like the accumulative effect of those punches are worse than just getting knocked out with one punch. So I'd rather him just get knocked out with one punch. But I think it's actually going to be a crazy fight between him and Gerald Washington. So we'll see. AJ in 6. Yeah, I've got AJ in 6 as well. I mean, who knows what would happen? Zach says, Ade, what advice would you give to someone looking to get into presenting? Apply. Like, I think when people think of presenting, I think people automatically think of maybe the big broadcasters. So your DAZN, your Skies, whatever, TNT now, ITV, Channel 4, whatever in this country. There are so many smaller ones as well. So many smaller ones where you can apply for apprenticeships or be a runner. So basically, you're just a person that just runs around and takes orders from people for a while. Laura Woods started as a runner, so you can do that. Or I think in order to get this camera sort of thing going, start a YouTube channel. Honestly, guys, I keep saying it all the time. I'm using a digital camera for the live, but most times I just use this. So every time you see me record on the channel, I'm just using this iPhone. She's an iPhone. So you guys can do that as well. And it doesn't even have to be a good iPhone. Like Rory Jennings, you guys know Rory. Rory's got what's Rory got? Rory's got around 250,000 subscribers. Up until a few months ago, Rory was using an iPhone 8 or something. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't. JD_5 says, yes, Ade. Yes, my brother. G-Man Boxing in the building says, salute to Ade. Chat up soon. Yeah, we do need to speak. We will speak. Keep pushing, bro. And congrats on 40 much. What's this one? Remember when AJ said in the last post-fight interview, I don't even want to talk to you, Ade. I see you all the time. Yes, he did say that. He did say that. What can you do? You know what? What can you do? It's funny because the whole world's watching. You've just got to stay cool, calm, and collected. AJ was trying to take the mic from me. He's trying to do everything. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the final interview because I'm presenting the show. I don't know if I'm the one that's actually going to do the final interview this time, but hopefully if it is me, he's more polite. We'll see. Uncle Albert 14 says, hello, Ade. Hope you're well. What is your top 3 most wanted fights for the rest of the year going into next? Good question. I feel like we've seen quite a lot of good fights now, haven't we? I would love to see Gervonta versus Shakur. Like, what? The funny thing is, yeah, that seems a million miles away, and you have to ask the question, why? Why is Gervonta versus Shakur? Both guys 135 pounds, a million miles away. But it is. That will turn out to be a Crawford-Spence situation where we have to wait 4 or 5 years. So I'd love to see that. I know we're not going to see Bivol Beterbiev, but I'd love to see that. And I'm desperate for the undisputed heavyweight title. Like, I feel like we've got a lot of undisputed fights in other divisions. I want to see Fury versus Usyk badly, because I think that's interesting. Pick a round. AJ stops Helenius. I'm saying 5th round TKO. Yeah, I'm saying 6. I think AJ will take a couple of rounds. He's not a fast starter anymore. I think he'll take a few rounds to kind of figure out Helenius. Look, guys, I don't want to touch wood, but mate, Helenius ain't no joke, Like when you sit down and talk with him, I was lucky enough to speak to Helenius yesterday. I'm lost of days now, and he's not like that Wilder knockout. He's put that to one side. He's put that to one side. He thinks this is a chance of a lifetime, a bit like Andy Ruiz did when he took the fight on short notice, and he's coming to do some damage. I do see the super chats. I'm going to get to them in a second. Ian Hamilton says, even Adam, bro, you must be amazed that you're presenting an AJ fight after all the videos you've done before landing this gig. Yeah, it is a bit surreal, actually. It's a bit surreal. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it's weird. I don't even understand it all, if I'm honest with you. That's why I always tell people, like, I see a message from Base that I'm going to read out in a minute. Everyone that started this YouTube thing, like I did 6-7 years ago, you have no idea what can happen. So just start. I know that I didn't plan on being a presenter. That was never my dream. Like, when people write their dreams, that was never my dream. My dream was to do some YouTube stuff and hopefully make enough money to pay the rent. So now that I'm doing this presenter stuff, it wasn't a plan of mine. So I feel like because of that, I still feel like there is room for improvement that I need to make. But look, we're there and we're going to give it our best shot. Base the Kid, the hardcore casual, says, Ade, you owe me an interview. This is very interesting from Base, because it was actually me that went up to Base yesterday at the press conference and was like, dude, am I going to get an interview? So it was me actually chasing him for an interview on his channel. But he's right. You know what it is? They just called me upstairs to interview AJ and Helenius, so I had to disappear and couldn't do it. Congrats on the 48,000. Thank you very, very much. What's this? Elijah Selassie? He says, need an update on Bivol. He can't sit out the entire year. Yeah, when I spoke to Eddie said that he was injured. And I was like, really? Because every time I see Bivol, look, we don't know what the injuries are. It could be anything, but every time I see Bivol on his social media, he's doing some sort of workout. I don't know if those are old tapes, old videos, but he's always doing a workout. So yeah, shocked that he's injured. And whatever injury he has, he certainly doesn't have it anymore. I mean, Eddie spoke about trying to get him out in October. So hopefully there is a Vosdick or someone lined up in October. We'll see. What's this one? Ade, are you sure you didn't drug White's water at the face-off? Yeah. All right, let's talk about this Dillian Whyte situation. How disappointing. How disappointing. Especially when it happens a week before. Like, say this happened a month out. You're disappointed, but you get over it, don't you? You get over it. A week out, very disappointed. I know a lot of people that were traveling over from America for this fight. I know a lot of people that were interested in it because of how the first fight played out. It wasn't a fight that, look, it's not a Wilder or a Fury. We understand that, but it was a fight that just had a storyline to it. Obviously, look, I did the face-off. It's upsetting that won't be released. But yeah, very disappointed. Look, we have to wait to see how this plays out with Dillian Whyte. Obviously, his team are going to go through their own legal thing, but ultimately, I think he's in trouble. That's what I think. I think he's in trouble. And if it is a case of he comes back and he is found guilty, and his lawyers can't prove that he's innocent, then I think that's probably it. At 35, I think that's probably it. And I think they are going to throw the book at him. When I say they, I don't know who, though, because Dillian Whyte doesn't have a British Boxing Board of Control license. So he's not licensed over here. So I don't know who controls what happens to Dillian Whyte. I have no idea. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Interesting indeed. What's this one? Tell Eddie to release the face-off. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, I don't even care about it because I was in it, so I know what happened. I feel sorry for you guys that didn't see it. I know they release like little clips now and again, but it's a strange thing. I was going to say something. The one I want to see is AJ Jarrell Miller. Release that. I'm desperate to see that one because that one looked like it would be a bit of a carnage, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. What's this one? Oi, oi, Ade. How is everyone? Everyone is good, Mr. Hicks. How are you, brother? Kyle Alibak says, hello, Ade. Glad to have you back. Thank you. Guys, I'm so sorry that we've not been doing these lives. I'm so sorry. Again, we're going to try and do them as much as possible. But yeah, it's just been busy. Fault on almost half the tickets being refunded. That's not true at all. Why do people make things up like this? It's not. I've seen the ticket allocation. I think 18,000 are still in there. So yeah, I don't know who that is. Z3887. Stop lying. Why do people do those type of things? TBXNG says, proud of you, Ade. So cool seeing you do the interviews. Yeah, the interviews, I find the interviews actually quite easy. I don't even find them difficult. The presenting, I prefer presenting than reporting. I don't like the reporting side of things when you're just ringside and you're just waiting for an interview. I prefer actually being the main presenter. So I guess we're doing that now, which is good. Geobarn 18 subscribers going up rapid. Yeah, I think, you know what happened? I think we got a massive boost when I did the Inoue video. So I did a reaction to Inoue Fulton immediately. Like, I watched it, I did the video, and I got my guy that does the thumbnails for me to do it. And that video got like 120,000 views, which for this channel is a lot. And I think a lot of people jumped on because of that. And then I just started putting out more content. So sometimes it's just pure luck, pure luck. And I do a lot of collaborations now. So you got to do collabs with people as well. JD underscore 05 says, how highly do you rate McKean and what does Hrgovic do to him? I don't know enough of McKean to even rate him, if I'm honest with you. I mean, he's fought at a level that I'm not sure what it is because 95% of his fights have been in Australia. Hrgovic, we know about, although I think Hrgovic has slipped off a little bit. This isn't the Hrgovic people were talking about 5-6 years ago. He didn't look good against Zhang. Zhang's a southpaw and tricky, but so is Dempsey McKean. Plus, Hrgovic's father had just passed away, I think, before that fight. So mentally, where's he going to be? I think Hrgovic stops him. He's nicknamed the Animal. Let's hopefully we see a bit of that animal again. So we'll see. Right, let me quickly. Apologies, I know a few of you did. Super chat here from Joey Bidner says, thoughts on Chizora's comments. I love the way you spell Chizora. That's kind of how it sounds, right? Chizora's comments to Eddie at the presser about Chisora saying he doesn't really like Eddie and that the Saudis are paying for him. Yeah, well, the Saudis are paying. The Saudis are paying for Chisora to be on this card. Chisora is expensive. Chisora is very, very expensive. So yeah, look, it's weird between those two because then you see them off camera and they're laughing and joking. So I don't know if it's just Chisora being Chisora, but yeah, I don't really think too much of it, to be honest with you. Ruben Jacobson, are those subscribe? Dude, do you think at my big age of 42 that I'm going to be buying subscribers? Get the fuck out of here. Super chat, congrats from Matt Wood. Appreciate it. Matt says, congrats on 48,000, big man. You're my go-to guy whenever the latest story in boxing hits. Who wins Prime Crawford versus Prime Mayweather and Pacquiao? You know, watching Crawford and look, so lucky to be there, by the way. So lucky to be there. I remember it was like a last-minute decision to go, and in the end, we went. Crawford just looked insane. And I'm just talking, not just talking in the ring. I'm talking at the weigh-in. He looked incredible. His physique was just sensational. That was the first time since the Mayweather's called it quits that I've actually watched another welterweight thinking, oh, you know, there's been some good welterweights. Let's not sleep on the ones that have, you know, come and gone. The Errol Spencer, Errol, yeah, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, decent ones. But Crawford there, you looked at him and you think, how are you going to beat that? But then Mayweather just finds a way. I edge to Mayweather just because he's Mayweather, but with no conviction. Pacquiao is a problem for anyone. Like Pacquiao that beat Cotto, that Pacquiao there that was a whirlwind would give anyone fits. I think that three there is so difficult to pick who would win out of that three. I know Mayweather fought Pacquiao, but that wasn't Mayweather at his peak. It wasn't Pacquiao at his peak. That Pacquiao that beat Cotto was the scariest thing I've ever seen at welterweight. Like I've seen, obviously Sugar Ray Leonard's before that, I get it, but the scariest thing I've ever seen was that guy. It's frightening. Good question. Was there a public workout? I don't think so. No, which is ridiculous. There should always be, but it was ridiculous. You seem to bring out the raw emotion in AJ. I think because I'm not trying to catch him out. You know, when people interview people, I've noticed, and I've just been studying it now. I've noticed the interviewers that try and catch athletes out, like they're trying to get that little soundbite or that little click so they can go viral. I'm not. I'm just trying to have a conversation. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of AJ. I'm a fan of a lot of boxers. Fan of Tyson Fury. So when I'm talking to them a bit like the fan. I'm not trying to catch them out. I appreciate what these guys do. Where I see most people when they interview people, it's almost like they're trying to find something to slip them up or trip them up. I ain't doing that. I'm just having a conversation, and hopefully they see through that. All right, where are we? Yeah, it kind of goes on to this, what you're saying. W. Thornton says, it's great seeing you and AJ. Feel like he can relax with you. Yeah, it's taken a while to get to that stage, right? You know, I always find it funny when, like, I know for a fact AJ watches people's YouTube channels. Like I know he watches Hatman's YouTube channel, and I'm guessing he now watches mine. And I'm not always super kind to him. Sometimes you have to say it what it is. Like when I say things like, I think Fury would beat him. So it's weird knowing I've said these things, then I go and sit down and interview him. I'm like, is it going to be awkward? But no, it's cool. It's cool, man. Rob Mayer says, I must say that I met AJ before he won the world title. What a lovely man to me and all my colleagues. Absolute class of gentleman. Yeah, you know, he's a cool dude. He is a very, very cool dude, honestly. 2 secs, guys. I'm just gonna quickly read out a couple of super chats that have come in. It's only right, isn't it? People pay their hard-earned money for a question. Let's read them out. In Podium, super chat, appreciate it, brother. Says, hey, Ade, White has claimed Hearn contaminated the samples and that he sabotaged him. What a load of nonsense. Why would Hearn ruin his own show? Surely that's not true. If that's true, I need to find out and do a video on it. That can't. You must be joking, sir. That can't be true. He would never. No, even Dillian Whyte wouldn't say that. Surely not. Surely not. Plebeian Musk says, what are the chances of Helenius knocking AJ down? Slim. AJ hasn't been knocked down that many times. When you think of, yeah, there's 3 defeats. Ruiz obviously multiple times in that fight, but in terms of just fights, Usyk nearly had him going in the first fight. Remember that towards the end, and Klitschko. So it's not easy. He's not easy to knock down. His legs seem to go, and he seems to get really tired, but he seems to stay on his feet. So I don't think that's possible. If that, I mean, I'd have a heart attack in the studio if that happens. Tell you now. Alexander Wilson Super Chat says, don't forget Crawford beat people with no weight clauses. Pac and Floyd used them a bunch of times. Like Pat Cotto was at 144 instead of 147. Pat Cotto was at 145, I believe. But maybe even one, yeah. No. Floyd didn't weight drain people like that. I mean, like Floyd, if Floyd did, it's because he was going up. Like Canelo, he was going up in weight. Floyd's tiny. So he's going to try and get a little advantage. I mean, look, you can't sleep on Floyd. You cannot sleep on Floyd at all. But, I mean, it's fantastic. So we'll see. We'll see. Where are we? Guys, just, sorry. Mr. Ayo, you're dropping money and no question. You must be rich. You must be rich. Richer than me. What's this one? Dylan Goodridge. Guys, I will get back to the questions, I promise. Dylan Goodridge, super chat again. Thank you so much. Says, can we see Javonte Haney in the next 18 months? No. I actually don't think Haney's going to come back down. Well, maybe, look, Javonte could go up, but I don't think Haney's coming back down. Haney Prograis looks like it's very, very, very close to being signed for October. And if Haney were to beat Prograis at 140, I don't think he's coming back down to 135. Why would you? If anything, probably go up again to 147. So I can't see how that plays out. But it's a shame. It's a shame that, because that would have been another super fight. Look, if the money's right and the money will be big, they potentially could meet at a catch weight. I mean, Javonte doesn't like making 135. He didn't look great physically on the scales against Ryan Garcia. So he would happily go to 137, 138. Maybe Devon can make that. Then you do it. Andy Olojo says, if AJ versus Wilder doesn't happen next, what do you think of AJ versus Hrgovic if both men win well this weekend? If AJ versus Wilder doesn't, AJ Hrgovic, it's a good fight. It's a good fight, but I mean, Hrgovic is fighting Dempsey McKean. I mean, should that get you the AJ fight? I'm not overly excited about that. I felt like I was overly excited about that a week ago when Dillian Whyte pulled out. I was like, okay, chuck in Hrgovic. But I want to see AJ Wilder. That's all I care about. I want to see AJ Wilder. And that's the fight to make next. That has to happen. It has to happen. There should be, if AJ gets through this one unscathed, there should be no reason why we don't get to see AJ Wilder. I would like to see Hrgovic fight the winner of Joyce Zhang. So if it's Zhang, it's a rematch. If it's Joyce, then wow. I mean, that's a great fight. Although Hrgovic has the IBF mandatory position, so he wants to fight Usyk. We shall see. Turn it off. Says, what happened to the face-off between Joshua and White? Do you mean what happened in the face-off? Or what happened? What happened to it is it was supposed to come out on Monday, and we all found out about this news on Sunday. So it got shelved, which is a shame. Phil, big super chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone that drops whatever you drop. If an alien came down from space and looked at the Conor Benn case, would they believe he was innocent of taking PDs? And if so, why? Would they believe he was innocent of taking PDs? I don't even think you need to get to the alien thing. I think if anyone came and had a look at the situation, they would be scratching their heads. It's a difficult situation. I mean, look, Conor Benn is as I think the suspension has been lifted, right? That's the correct term. He's still going through his stuff with the British Boxing Board of Control. That doesn't look like it's been sorted yet. It's just been a mess. I honestly, it's been a mess, and it's been nearly a whole year now. I think that test that Conor Benn would have tested positive for was in August. Mate, honestly, it's a mess. It really is. You know, it's weird though. I'm watching Conor Benn, and credit to him. I don't know how he's kept his mental state going, because this guy seems to be in the gym every day, and I don't know. I have no idea why he's still in the gym. He's almost in the gym like there's a fight coming. I still want to see. I know he's done a sit-down interview with Matchroom. I know he done a sit-down interview with Piers Morgan. I still feel like I want to see him be asked a few more questions by a few more people. That's my own personal take on it. But we'll see. So I think someone said missing the lives. Tyler G says, big up Ade, been missing the lives. Phil, that is a good question you chucked at me, and a tough one as well. Appreciate it. All right, where are we? Taj Bola says Hearn and team was scared of the result and screwed Whyte. Obviously didn't want to lose the Saudi pay. What? Do people really believe that Eddie Hearn somehow got involved with Dillian Whyte's drug test results? Has it got that bad that people believe that I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. All right, let's get back to some of the questions before we start reading the super chat. 2 secs. 2 secs, guys. Just going to get back to it. 2 secs, guys. Sorry. What's this one? D115X says, hey, Ade, when will we get the next video for the weight cut? Sunday. We filmed today. Unfortunately, we was doing some hill work, some hill sprints, some lunges up a hill, some good content outside. I tore my hamstring just a little bit. I felt it on one of the final sprints. Old man trying to sprint. So I tore my hamstring a little bit, but we're still going to get through this. We've done some core work outside instead. So we're going to edit all of that stuff, and it's going to be released on Sunday. We have, I think, 17 more days. I think it is 17 more days, or 16. 17 or 16 more days to get to 175 pounds. You know, this has been one of the toughest things I've ever did. Honestly, like we've traveled a lot. We've gone Nashville, London, Vegas, London, Texas. We've traveled a lot. And it's been very, very difficult not to eat shit and drink, but we've stuck to it. We've done everything we can in the gym. Right now we're weighing in at around 85.9 kilos. 175 pounds is 79.9 kilos. So I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it, guys. And I am going to fucking treat myself to the best and the most expensive glass of whiskey I can find in London. That's what I'm going to do. Isa Majid says, Ade, do you think Inoue can match Pac-Man's record of 8 weight division? No chance. Darren Jones says, why does Alan Brazil call you 80? It's disgrace, isn't it? It's a joke. Like, I've been working on TalkSport for this might be 3 years. I mean, it's not like you don't know who I am. Like, I'm a TalkSport presenter. Like I've got my own show on TalkSport, not just TalkSport 2. I've got my own show on TalkSport. Get my name right. Incredible. Evening at a 50,000 subs incoming. You know, the thing is about 50,000, you get fuck all for it. Like, I don't know why YouTube don't have a 50,000 plaque. Like, you get nothing. But look, we're gonna get there soon. I think I expect to get there. What we now, August. I'm thinking we might get there by the end of September, maybe even sooner. Like, it's going up so quick, so maybe even sooner. But yeah, then it'll just be another target, 60. Like 100's the dream. That's the real dream. I think that's about a year and a bit away. But yeah, I'll be very, very happy with 50. 50,000 is a lot. It really is. This one is from Alan Taylor. Ade, no need to ask how life is as you're smashing it at the moment. Great to see the hard work pay off. You know what, yo? Can I be honest with you, Alan? Firstly, I'm happy that we've not asked a question, but you've put the question forward. Life from the outside looking in obviously looks amazing, doesn't it? Like, you guys obviously see me traveling a lot. I'm at these events and it's fantastic. But at the moment, I'm actually going to press the pause button on work in a couple of weeks. Man, I feel like I've got no life at the moment. So it's weird. It's like I have no social life. I can't remember the last time I went out. I've done anything. So yeah, it's good. Loads of opportunities, but I need to find a balance. I've not found a balance between all this work, and actually just chilling. Rob Mayer says, Addy, fair play to you. You're a good man. I'm all right. I wouldn't say I'm the best. What's this one? Shroot. Is that correct? Shroot. Dallas heat is something else, man. It's like when you step out of the airport in a hot place for the first time, just all day. Dallas is the hottest place on earth, people. Well, it's obviously not, but for me, it was the hottest place I've ever been to. It was ridiculous. Hey, Ade and all, says Sean J. No question. Sean, get a question in, my man. Come on. I lock you up _Forfan. How bad does Jake beat KSI? Not bad, but he beats him. Jake's for now, anyway, from what I've seen, and I've covered both of their events now. Jake's just a better boxer, and he's just so much bigger. Like, he was standing next to me, and I know I'm losing weight, but I was like, gee, you're jacked. Whereas KSI ain't that. KSI is small and ripped, but he's not nowhere near as big as Jake. KSI may be a bit faster, but Jake obviously hits harder. So yeah, I think Jake wins. Massive fight though, really is. I know hardcore boxing fans. I know, calm down. I know you don't like it, but it's a massive fight. Craig R says 6 kilograms to go. You'll piss it, man. Well done, dude. I don't know because I'm fucking starving. Honestly, I'm eating one proper meal a day. Even that's not a lot. James Clifford sending money over. No questions. What is going on? People sending money. No questions. Are you guys all rich? What's going on out there? Good question, this one. What's a better fight for AJ at this stage of his career, Whyte or Helenius? Helenius is much better prep for Wilder, that's for sure. I don't think it comes down to prep because you're going to get the prep and sparring. Ultimately, you want a big win. And the bigger win is Dillian Whyte. Like, I like Helenius. Helenius, obviously, look, I'm a massive fan of his. I told him that. I said, dude, those Kalnaki performances were really, really good. You shocked me a little bit. But I think Whyte, if we're going to do our top 15, top 20, I think Whyte's a bit higher than Helenius. Not by much, but he's a bit higher. Plus, Dillian Whyte and AJ have that thing. So I think this would have been a bigger win mentally and psychologically for AJ. I don't think mentally he gets much from beating Helenius unless he flatlines him. Then you'll know that he still got that because we haven't seen AJ clean someone out for a while. Loads of super chats coming in. I promise I'm going to get to them. I promise. Gregor Swanson says, what's your first meal going to be after you reach 107? Everyone's asked me this. Everyone has asked me this. But I'm doing this with Boxing Science, who do a lot of the nutritional stuff and the strength and conditioning stuff for boxers. And I think they've even told me you can't just gorge on a meal straight after cutting weight. So you've got to be a bit strict. But once we do everything properly and we sit down and have our first meal, there's a Lebanese place, yeah, not too far from here. And they got that grilled meat and the rice. So I'll do that one for lunch because obviously I'm going to eat a lot. I'm going to go to an Italian and do a nice spag bowl with cheese just all floating around it. Ooh, yeah. We'll do that one for dinner. And then I'm going to go to one of those fucking ice cream places, yeah? And I'm going to get an apple pie, hot apple pie. And I'm going to get vanilla ice cream poured all over it with some honey. And I'm going to fucking batter it. I'm going to eat all three. And then you know what I'm going to do the next day? I'm going to repeat it. That's what we're gonna do. All right, let me quickly read out some super chats that have come in. We got one here from Anthony. Super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Says, Ade, it's Anthony from Buffalo, New York. Massive love and much respect. I'm surprised Wilder will go into this AJ fight with almost 2 years off in January. Thoughts? Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, Wilder only fought for a round against Helenius. Like, Wilder's going into this cold. That being said, I feel like if anyone can, it's Wilder for some reason. But Wilder's going into this fight cold. Whereas AJ is going into this fight, which will be at the time, if he gets past Helenius, 3 fight camps with Derek James, and for the first time, an active 12 to 14 months. That being said, I still make Wilder the favorite. I mean, when that right hand goes, like when I spoke to Helenius about that right hand, Helenius was like, I've sparred Wilder so many times, and I kind of read him. I read his hands. I read his feet. So when Wilder was walking backwards, every time I fought Wilder in sparring, he always charges forward. So when he's walking backwards, I thought, okay, I've got him. So I tried to set up the right hand to the body, the left hand over the top. And he said, by the time I threw that right hand to the body, fuck me, I was out cold. He said that Wilder right hand came from nowhere, like nowhere. So that shows you Wilder can fight off the back foot or the front foot. Wilder dangerous as hell, man. Wilder dangerous as hell. James Clifford says, Ade, Michaela Mayer is coming to fight on the Smith-Eubank bill. If she wins, then challenges Natasha Jonas up at welterweight for the IBF title. How do you rate her chances? Good. I think she's got a chance. I'd edge it to Tasha, but Michaela Mayer is naturally bigger than Tasha. Tasha's quite small. I've met both. Tasha's thick, don't get me wrong, like thick legs, but Michaela Mayer is fucking massive, isn't she? Really tall. So we'll see. We'll see what she can do, Michaela. She's desperate to get in and fight someone. She wants a name. She desperately wants the winner of Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron. I know Caroline Dubois is calling her out, but she's not going to fight Caroline Dubois. Like, why is she? Why would you? So, yeah, I like Michaela. It's weird, though, how Michaela's having to have all her fights over here. Like, no fights in the States. The last 3 fights now, if she is fighting on that bill, would have been over here. O2 Arena, Chris Eubank, Liam Smith, is that the Manchester Arena? And she fought the Copper Box. So yeah, it's almost like she's made a career here now. Auditing London and the world says, big up, Ade, big up to you as well, bro. I see what you're doing. Big up to you as well. All right, 2 secs, peeps. Gonna quickly go to the super chat. See, I'm not just reading super chats, by the way. I'm trying to do a bit of both. But again, once the super chats come in, I think it's polite. It's polite to quickly read them. Read that one. Give me 2 secs, people. Okay, we read that one. That was Mr. Ayo sending in money without a question. Phil with a great question. All right. No, we read that one. What's this one? Okay, here we go. Albanian boxer 555 £2 says, I think Matchroom should do a show in Albania, Kosovo. I think, look, first of all, Matchroom won't do it. Boxer can, obviously, because of Florian Marcoux. But yeah, I do think there needs to be a push to do fights, big fights in different regions. Like I was watching, I think it was in Poland, where Glowacki, was it Glowacki? I think it was Krzysztof Glowacki had that MMA fight, and he had it in a stadium, and there must have been about 80,000 people in there. They just clearly like fighting. They like watching it. So I do think there should be pushes to go to other countries. Like it's all centered around the UK and Australia. Sorry, the UK and the USA. I think we've seen recently with George Kambosos, you can do good fights in Australia as well. So I think boxing needs to become a bit more worldwide. Like I've seen a few Americans saying Inoue has to come to America. Why? Inoue does great numbers in Japan. Why does he need to come to America for? Why don't Americans do like Fulton and get over there? I think boxing needs to be a bit more worldwide. So look, if there can be more fighters from Albania, then I'm sure the broadcasters will go over there. They're not just going to go over there, unfortunately, not yet anyway, just for Marcoux. Ryan Shepard says, with Spence and Crawford moving up, Charlo around and Zoo getting a belt, where does the Sebastian Fundora fit into 154-pound division after a loss? Hmm. I don't know. When you say fit in, I don't know if you mean like, is there a route back to a title for him? There's certainly a route back. I mean, first of all, you can do the rematch. There's no harm in that. I mean, Erickson Lubin would love a rematch as well. There are guys out there. I mean, Tony Harrison hasn't retired. So there are names out there where you can fight guys 154 pounds. The problem with Findora, and I mentioned the Lubin and then the Harrison, I don't think they want to fight him because he is so tall and has power. And I was watching his last fight. He's got a fan base, but it's not a big fan base. So basically, the risk reward is like, what do you do with the risk reward with him? Oh, can you guys still see me? Oh, 1 second, guys. I don't know what's happened with the camera. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I don't know if you guys can see me. 1 sec. We're back. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened, but we're back. Fucking hell. Did we answer the Fandora question? I think we did. All right. Let's see what else we got. Gabriel Martinez says, loving the content, wondering what your thoughts are on Catterall versus Linares. Wasn't overly happy, wasn't overjoyed, didn't jump for joy with it. Someone did say something very interesting though the other day. Someone said, wouldn't this be Catterall's biggest win? I was like, yeah, it probably would, but it doesn't mean that Catterall Linares is a great fight. I mean, Sam Jones was talking about Catterall versus Regis Prograis. Obviously, Regis Prograis gets the Devin Haney fight, and that's the issue. But yeah, I'm not overly excited with it, but it is what it is. Tom Everidge says, where the hell is Michael Hunter? Michael Hunter was actually one of the sparring partners that AJ used for this Dillian Whyte fight. I'm not sure. Hunter was trying to get the Bacoli fight on the Smith Eubank card. I don't know if Bacoli wants it. Remember, that's Bacoli's only defeat. Got smashed in that one. Do you remember that? But yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with Bacoli. Subheads Records says, what if Joshua tests positive for PEDs? Is he covered by his therapeutic use exemption? No, surely not. Like, if you test positive, you test positive. I mean, I'm sure like this TUE, I need to understand it because I don't want to speak on something that's not correct, but I need to read into it a bit more. This TUE with AJ, because I don't know who brought it up. I'm not quite sure what fight did Jarrell Miller bring it up. Yeah, maybe it needs to be looked in, but if AJ tests positive, surely he tests positive. Julie Curtis 100 says AJ too strong for Wilder. Wilder's got no inside fight and telegraphs punches. AJ will have plenty of time to see it coming and deal with him. Nobody has seen it coming and dealt with it. So as much as you say that, and you might be correct. Nobody has seen it coming. Like, so everyone has seen it coming and they have not been able to avoid it. Like, I would argue AJ's got decent movement. I'd argue that laterally, or is that a word? But Tyson Fury's got better lateral movement. Tyson Fury's been knocked down by Deontay Wilder 4 times, 5 times. Even Luis Ortiz, who, when they first fought, not the second time, but first time Luis Ortiz fought, I thought Ortiz was going to beat him. I thought Ortiz, Cuban Southpaw, is going to be way too tricky for Wilder to try and just sort out, and Wilder eventually got to him as well. Nah. Man like Ade, the GOAT. I'm up there. Alexander Wilson, big one, says Whyte had an adverse finding before Oscar Rivas, and everybody knew, but they went on with that fight. And the worst thing is they didn't inform Rivas' team about it. That was a stain on UK boxing. Yeah, massive stain. And that I guess was one of the issues. I remember at the time I had issues saying, like, what's going on with the B sample? Remember all that. But look, ultimately, he was cleared, wasn't he? He was cleared and his career resumed. And he, went on to have some big fights. But this time, I'm not quite sure how he gets around it. Thoughts on Bivol versus Vosdik as a matchup? Love it. Absolutely love it. I was lucky enough to work on the Canelo card when Bivol fought Bolotniks. Sorry, apologies. When Vosdik fought Bolotniks and Vosdik steamrolled in. And I remember thinking, him versus Bivol will be a good one, especially now Bivol can't get the matchups. Look, Bivol wanted Boatsy. Matchroom wanted that fight. Eddie wanted that fight. Unfortunately, Boatsy didn't at the time. And I think they were relying on that maybe a bit too much. And then, so the two options they had for Bivol that they must have shown Bivol at the time was Canelo and Boatsy. And they thought we're going to be able to get one of them, surely. And ultimately, both fighters have gone. Boatsy's gone to Boxer. Canelo's gone to PBC. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. What's this? Just incredible. Hit the likes, peeps. Yeah, hit the likes if you can, please, people. Please. 2 secs. Ade, will you publish your training and diet? Ade, will I publish my training and diet? Yeah, I've not really spoke too much about the diet. The diet's the hardest thing, like, I never understood it before. Whenever I used to talk about, abs are made in the kitchen, I used to be like, shut up, man. Just go to the gym and do some abs. But honestly, guys, I don't even have abs yet. Like, I've got a flat stomach now, but I don't have abs. I've been killing myself. I've not at anything. I've done everything correct for nearly 6 weeks, and I don't have abs. It's so difficult. Like, it's all in the kitchen. Like, I actually think it's 70% kitchen, 30% training. I think it's that much. This one, Jordan Perry says, thoughts on Boxer yet again pulling a fighter out of a purse bid. Yeah, surprised. I don't know what's going on. If I'm Richard Riakporhe, I'm like, come on, man. Like, the thing is with this JL Pataya fight, so we're talking JL Pataya versus Richard Riakporhe. Obviously, JL Pataya is with DAZN and Matchroom. Richard Riakporhe, as you guys know, is with Boxer. Boxer don't want to see Richard Riakporhe on DAZN. DAZN don't want to see JL Pataya on Boxer. So the purse bids would have been enormous. Like, both of them would have been desperate to win that purse bid. So ultimately, the fighters are going to get paid maybe even more than they're worth. Like, it could have been a purse bid over £1 million. And if it is that £1 million, I don't know what the split is with the IBF. Is it 75-25? Richard Riakporhe was going to get $250,000. What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? What's this? Karma Serene. No way. Vegas is way hotter than Texas. Wasn't for me, Karma. Karma, I'm not joking. I honestly, it was so hot. I was like, I was trying to walk on the pavement and find shade. Like, when you see a little bit of shade, and I was actually walking on the pavement finding shade. It was so hot. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Who was the hardest boxer to interview and why? Maybe Golovkin. Only because of his English. His English was good, but it wasn't good enough to the point where you feel like you can just flow with the conversation. He had his interpreter there as well, so you could see as I'm talking, his interpreter's talking to him. So I felt like because his interpreter's talking to him, maybe Golovkin isn't properly listening to me. It was a bit weird. And the worst thing is, it was a dream interview for me because I'm a massive Golovkin fan. So I'd say that was probably the hardest one to do. Super chat here from Quinn 40. Big one says, Ade, next year, 100,000 subs, no doubt. Wow. Question, I only buy heavyweight fights on pay-per-view. The rest is YouTube. But now I pay $19.99 per month for the zone, all weight classes, which I don't watch. Only like heavyweight. Am I screwed? Yeah. Yeah. You think of, I'm trying to think of the heavyweight fights the zone might put on. And you look at the top heavyweight fights, the top ones, they don't have that many big heavyweight. Well, look, I mean, the card this weekend has got heavyweight fights. Maybe talking at the top tier. So Zhang versus Joyce is Queensbury. Fury obviously is not the zone fighter. He'll be fighting Ngannou on Queensbury or TNT, should I say? Both of those will be on TNT. Usyk versus Dubois. I'm guessing TNT pay-per-view. What other ones are there? Obviously, all the American heavyweight fights are most likely top rank, and Showtime have a little, but mainly top rank. So the zone don't have many top heavyweight fighters. Yeah, be interesting to see, and I'm sure it will be the zone if AJ fights Wilder. Where that lands, I'm pretty sure that'll be the zone. The Mind Body Life Coach says, Ade, have you ever said something about a boxer on here and they've pulled you up on when you've seen him? No, not really. I mean, Boatsi wasn't happy. I can't remember what I said about Boatsi, but he didn't seem to be very happy about something I said. I can't remember what it was. The thing about Boatsi is that I rate him. That's the thing. I rate Boatsi so much. So if I feel like Boatsi slipped a little bit, I'm gonna say it, but only because I rate him so highly and I like him as a person. So yeah, but everyone else has been okay. Declan Murphy says, would you say the Hergovich fight is bigger than the AJ fight on Saturday? No. Like Dempsey McKean is not as good as Helenius, and Hergovich isn't as good as AJ. It's a good fight though. It's a very, very good fight. I think the best heavyweight fight on that card will be Chisora versus Gerald Washington. I just think it's going to be madness. Honestly, I think it's going to be madness, and they're gonna throw everything at each other, and someone's getting knocked out. Jacob Kuzurak says, where does Errol Spence go now from his loss against Crawford? The rematch. He's going to ask for, there's a rematch clause in there. His ego is going to want the rematch. His bank balance is going to want the rematch. And he is going to want the rematch. So I think they're going to go straight at it again. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's at 147 as well. I wouldn't be surprised. Are you covering the KSI Tommy Fury fight? Maybe. Not 100% yet, but maybe. Love Fleuret. How do I say that name? Fleuret says, what are you losing weight for? I just wanted to experience what a fighter goes through. Obviously, I'm not doing the sparring. I am hitting a little bit of pads, but I'm not doing the sparring. But I wanted to experience the difficulties a fighter has making weight, and just the mindset and the mentality. I just wanted to kind of experience it a little bit. Obviously, can't experience it all because I'm not a fighter. But the fact that I cover the sport, I thought it would be good to try and do something that the people I cover do. So that's why I'm doing it. Ade from Lionel Kashila said, Ade just had a nice keto dinner. Any tips? Any tips for more weight to drop? Any tips to drop more weight? Is that what you're saying? It need to drop 20 pounds. 20 pounds, dude. 20 pounds ain't easy. Look, ultimately, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So you just need to eat less calories. That's kind of the most simplest advice I can give you. Look at your calories, because you'll be very surprised when you look at the pack and work it out how much we're eating. Like, it's insane. It really is insane. Like right now, I'm probably consuming 1,200 calories a day. And it still seems to be quite a lot of food, but I'm on a calorie deficit. I guess most people who are not on diets are probably consuming 4,000 calories a day. Like a McDonald's meal, so a bit of Big Mac fries, and you treat yourself to a shake or a Fanta, well over 1,000 calories, well over. So you just got to look at your calories. Oh yeah, good fight, this one. Green Day Shooter says, yes, bro. Thoughts on the Boatsi Aziz fight? Love it. Love it. And I'm so happy they've there was some talk about Brighton. I don't know where that came from. There's talks about the fight could be in Brighton, which makes no sense. It's a London fight. It's happening in London. Good fight. Good fight for Aziz. Big opportunity for him. Big. He wins this one. He's probably in line for a world title next. And what I like about Aziz is that he has done it the traditional way. Southern area, I believe, English, British, Commonwealth, European. Proper. Kyle Davis says, Ade, no media workout today. I don't think so. Or I mean, I wasn't there doing it if there was. But yeah. If there was no media workout, that's disgrace, isn't it? Let's be honest. There should always be a media and public workout. So disappointing there isn't, but I don't think there was. Gareth Craddock says, Ade, be honest, how would a talented 90s heavyweight do today, specifically Tommy Morrison? Tommy Morrison? He has punch power, but I think we saw in a few of his fights, he can get knocked out as well. A talented 90s heavyweight. They would compete. I don't think they would dominate the heavyweight division. I really don't. I mean, these guys now are fucking land of the giants, you know. They really are enormous now. Like when you think of the heavyweights back then, like Frank Bruno, yeah. Frank Bruno was considered a big heavyweight. 1 second. I just want to get Frank Bruno's weight up. I remember looking at this the other day. You know, Frank Bruno was solid. Frank Bruno, height 6'3", which, by the way, is not a big heavyweight in today's standards. 6'3" is Joseph Parker's size. But I remember reading about his weight, and it was just 16 stone something, which in today's world ain't big. The guys now are massive. So I think the guys now just have a size advantage. I do think heavyweights back then, minus Fury and Usyk, are better boxers, but I think the guys right now are really, really big. 2 sec. Matt says, in your heart of hearts, do you think we'll get Wilder, AJ, and Saudi? Yeah, 100%. 100% we're going to get Wilder, AJ, in Saudi. Book it. Clip this bit out if you want. Fury, Usyk, and Saudi, I don't know. Mark Nee says, add a 50,000 giveaway. Wood Warrington tickets, please. That wouldn't be a giveaway for everyone. I don't think a lot of people would be happy with that giveaway. We could do that anyway. We might just, we might do like first, second, third. We might do those type of prizes, but I'm not quite sure if that will be the prize. Thomas Newman says, expect a better showing from Harry Armstrong against Johnny Fisher. He's been doing some serious rounds with Arsene. Gulamarian out in the Spanish mountains. Gulamarian is what belts he got again? Cruiserweight champion anyway, who's been a bit inactive. But okay, that's interesting. He did say that actually in a press conference. I did say this as well in my preview video today. I actually said that if Johnny Fisher doesn't get him out of there early, then Johnny Fisher might have a problem, a big problem. Shawnee B says, Ade, who's your top 3 heavyweights of all time and why? Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and fuck, it's a toss-up between, man, that's difficult. So I was gonna say Lennox. I'm gonna say Joe Frazier. Okay, and the reason being Muhammad Ali, I just love him. I don't even need to give you a reason. Mike Tyson changed the face of boxing. Like Mike Tyson brought new eyes into the sport, like my mom and dad. Mike Tyson was just the most, like those walks to the ring that Mike Tyson did were just sensational. You don't see everyone now with the fucking pyrotechnics and fireworks going off and the biggest robes. Mike Tyson just walked to the ring and meant business. And Joe Frazier, because Joe Frazier at the time coming through, I mean, for Joe Frazier, who was clearly undersized, to be competing in the era that he competed in and to have some solid wins as well, you gotta love smoking Joe Frazier. You've got to. So those would be my 3. If I was to do 4 or 5, 4 or 5 would be Evander and Lennox Lewis. But those 3, I think, head and shoulders above the rest. Warnock says you're on a road to 275 after you get down to 175. You know what? Yeah, because I am going to eat a lot. But you know what I will do though? Now that I've done this 175 and I'm doing things in the gym that I've never done before, like I'm going to put a clip out on my Instagram. Guys, follow me on Instagram. It's Ade Oladipo. You guys know that. Let me put it in the screen so you guys can see. It's so simple. Ade Oladipo on Instagram. Yeah, I'm gonna put a clip out now. Some stuff I've been doing, like workouts that I want you guys to have a look at. I don't need to, actually. You guys know my There you go. So yeah, so follow me on Instagram because there's some clips that I'm putting out. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that I think I've got bored of just going to the gym and just lifting weights. Like I'm so happy now that I do a completely different workout because that's so dead and boring. So thank God that we're not doing that anymore. All right, where are we? All right, guys, should we go for another 15, 20? Might as well. Might as well. Let's have a look and see where we are. Have I missed any super chats? All right. Oh, that's when I think I'm catching up to the point when my stream went down. 2 seconds. 2 seconds, peeps. Okay, I know where we are now. Okay, someone's asking a bit of football stuff. Caicedo or Lavia? Caicedo all day long. I'm not interested in this Romeo Lavia or Romeo Lavia. Oh, good question. Stephen, thoughts on Navarrete versus Valdez on Saturday? Fight of the year, all Mexican. You're damn right. You're damn right. What a good fight that's going under the radar. Like when we continually talk about these big fights, and everyone always mentions the obvious ones, right? This is such a big fight. This is honestly such a big fight. It really is. And it's a good one as well. Super featherweight division. WBO, Navarrete's WBO title up for grabs. He fought for this title. Oscar Valdez actually fought for this title when he fought Shakur Stevenson. Remember, it was WBO and WBC unification fight. He lost. But yeah, all Mexican war. It's going to be good. I favor Valdez but Navarrete doesn't stop coming forward. But it can be chinned. If you remember his last fight against Liam Wilson, I think it was, he got put down and it was a long count. Like the fight was over. He got saved by the ref. So he can be chinned. So yeah, this is going to be a good one. Really, really looking forward to that. Really. Should be a good fight. Okay, where are we? 2 secs. Okay, I see where we are now. Super chat here. No name. Sorry, no question. Just money. Too rich. Do you think Wilder would have beaten Vlad? It's a very, very good question. Would Wilder have beaten Vladimir Klitschko? I don't know. That's a great question. They must have been so close to. They literally have just missed each other. But I wonder if there was ever talks about them two fighting. How they missed? How did Deontay Wilder and Vladimir Klitschko miss each other? Interesting. I might do a little research on that. George Kemp says, "Hi, Ade. Do you believe White has knowingly taken Pete? Bro, are you trying to get White to knock on my door? Are you trying to get White to knock on my door with his big brother?" No, I'm not even answering that question. I hope not. I hope not. That's all I'm going to say on that one. That's all I'm going to say. Do I think White has knowingly cheated? I got to see these guys, you know. Jesus Christ. Vince Carter 15 says, "Can we please stop pretending?" Like I'm just looking at your thumbnail photo here, dude. Is that Aladdin? Can we please stop pretending like the AJ Wilder fight is signed or even offered? I know there's been conversations. You are correct. I don't think anyone has been saying it. Has anyone said it's been signed or offered? But I do know for a fact, and there's not many things I know, but this one I do know, that there have been conversations. There have been conversations, strong conversations as well. So Yeah, I don't know. All right. What's this one? Hey Ade, loving the content. Hope you hit 50,000 soon. Thank you very much. How far do you think Vidal Riley can go in the sport? Now that he's taken the sport serious, let's be honest. I mean, he really, it wasn't for a couple of years. Now that he's taken the sport seriously, there's clearly a very, very talented fighter there. The problem he has is that this cruiserweight division over here is pretty hot. Like, it's the best cruiserweight division in many years. Like, it wasn't even this deep when David Haye was cruiserweight champion. So let's see how he navigates the murky waters of some of the top cruiserweights here. But the good thing is as well, because there are so many cruiserweights, he's got stepping blocks. So obviously we've got Isaac Chamberlain versus Lawal. That's on the Eubank Smith undercard as well. So could Vidal Riley maybe, potentially fight the loser of that, maybe even the winner? And then obviously you get to the big guys, the big dogs. Is he ready for those? Not yet, but he might be in about a year. How many rounds would Wilder last against Mike Tyson? Peak Mike Tyson, 2-3. I think Tyson would eat him alive. I think Tyson would close the distance on him so quick, uppercut him, left hook, done. Done. And that's not me being, love history. I just haven't watched both of their careers. I think the way in which Tyson would close that distance. And unlike everyone that fights Wilder, who fights tentative because they know about the right hand, Tyson won't give a fuck. Tyson will run into that shit. Run into that. What's this? New news about Crawford welcoming Tank. Who do you think wins? Dude, come on. You're better than that. You're better than that. Is this this has to be a joke question. Is there a concern that someone could be messing with Matchroom Fighters test? Find it hard to believe that Dillian would be stupid enough to throw his last shot at the big time away. Drugs in sports. Drugs in sports. This is not a boxing thing. This is drugs in sports. When I asked AJ about this, he says even he isn't surprised anymore. He said drugs in sports. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking forward to hearing what Dillian has to say, not words, someone sitting down interviewing him. Someone that has no position in the sport of boxing either. I feel like if you have a position in the sport of boxing, there's an affinity there. I want someone that doesn't care about boxing, doesn't care about Dillian Whyte to ask them some tough questions. Vigor sucks. Ade, this is not boxing related, but I know you like your movies. Have you watched Oppenheimer yet? If so, what did you think? I haven't watched it. Are you telling me I should watch it? Because I do need a movie to watch tonight. Are you telling me it's that good? Are you telling me it's that good? Because I need a movie. I've only just finished watching Succession. I'm not gonna, and no spoilers for anyone that watched it, but hey. 2 secs. Where are we? That's very nice. Very nice. That's all I need. All I need from you guys sometimes. That's it. Look at this. Andreas, how are you? I'm good. I'm good, Andreas. Like, if you're asking, seriously, a bit stressed. A bit stressed. I get a bit stressed and nervous before a big event. Just because you can't make no mistakes, can you? Like, I think that's one thing people take for granted. You can't make no mistakes. Like when you're up there doing these big events and you're reading the auto cue, or the auto cue goes down. Like I did an event. I don't know where it was the other day. I was in Newcastle. You guys wouldn't know this, obviously. But so I've got auto cue in front of me. I don't actually do sometimes I do auto cue, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just read and say things myself. Sometimes I read what's on the screen. Anyway, I was doing the auto cue and it fucking started fuzzing, going all that. So I'm reading it and it's making all sorts of, and it's moving and it goes down. That happened to me. You guys at home wouldn't know because I'm a professional and I kept it moving, but that happened. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Auto cue. I just had to keep making shit up as I went along. What have we got? What's this one? Big L Dubs, Big Ade in the building. Your growth and story is mad. Well deserved. Keep it up, bro. Thank you, my man. Thank you. What's this one? Guys, sorry, 2 secs. All right, we're gonna do it for another 10 minutes. What's this? Babatunde Kufuroji. Ade, you'll definitely be involved in the KSI and Tommy Fury fight for sure. You have nothing to worry about on that. No. I'm trying to say if I want to be involved. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's a big event. I get it, but I don't know. Ade, what's the best way to improve your bench press? I don't really know. I don't really know about all those things. I guess got to try and make your core stronger. I think a strong core is always good. Your glutes, like remember that power comes from your glutes, your legs. I think everyone looks at bench and think the power comes from your shoulders. You don't really. You have to kind of bridge your back and get your glutes involved. We'll do a video on it. Good question, this one. Philip, answer. Do you think TalkSport have an agenda over AJ? And the truth is, no, I don't. I think as a boxer, as a human being, right, you only pick up on the negative stuff a lot, don't you? I do it as well. Like 90% or 95% of this comment section right now, I can see it all. And 95% is amazing. Like really positive, fun. And I can see the 5% that's negative. And for some reason, that negative one is just standing out. I can see it. I'm not going to read him, but I can see it. And I almost feel like that's what AJ does with TalkSport. He probably doesn't hear 95% of the praise, but here's the 5% of negativity. I mean, I'm on there. Obviously, I'm praising him. Spencer Oliver's there doing the boxing. He praises him. Gareth A. Davis gives him his plaudits. Adam Cattrall gives him his plaudits. But he'll probably hear a bit of Simon Jordan and think, but Simon Jordan gives him his plaudits as well. What AJ needs to do is come on TalkSport more. So when you come on more, they get friendly with you. They can have some fun with you. But I think because he doesn't come on more, I think the relationship isn't there. So again, he hears all the negativity rather than the positivity, because there's a lot of positivity as well. There is a lot. 2 secs. Lilligy says, Ade, on your IG post, you mentioned that you think there'll be an AJ Usyk free. What made you say this? Okay, there's such a shame. That interview I did with AJ, I think the Zone have put it up. I think they put up like a 7-minute piece. That was a 40-minute interview. Now, the reason they've only put up 7 minutes because the majority of that interview was about the Dillian Whyte fight. It was a really good interview. But there was a part of that interview where I asked AJ, are you going to fight Usyk again? He said yes. Not me making it up. He said yes, he's going to fight Usyk, and I was like, "What? You want to fight Usyk?" And he's like, "Yes, he wants to fight Usyk again." So that's why I said it. Super chat here from Triple R says, American boxing mugging us off. We lost out on Fury, Usyk, Ben, Eubank, White, Joshua, etc. The Yanks get Haney, Loma, Tank, Garcia, Spence, Crawford. Yeah, American boxing at the moment they're wiping the floor of us. I mean, it goes around, doesn't it? I mean, there was a time when I think British boxing felt like it had big events all the time, and now America's doing them. But ultimately, forget country, we're winning as boxing fans. We're winning. If you can, and look, I know for everyone it's difficult, right? Money in the pocket, financially, not everyone can afford to travel and watch fights. But if you can get to Vegas for a big one, please do. It's the greatest thing ever. There's nothing like it. I know that we're trying over here. By the way, do you know that Madison Square Garden are building an arena in Stratford, 20,000? So they're going to try and do big events over there. But I know we've tried with the O2 Arena, Wembley, Saudi Arabia getting involved. Nothing like Vegas. It's just an insane night. And then the events that I've been to, I've been lucky enough to have been to, obviously, Garcia, Tank, and Spence Crawford. Incredible. Honestly, incredible. What's this one? Scotty Botty Banana. Oi, Ade. Any chance of interviewing that journeyman boxer, Jake Pollard, who got his first win after 49 losses the other week. Would love to. I might get him on. I do think he DM'd me. I'll double check, but now I know the name. I'll double check. But I think that'd be an interesting conversation. All right, 2 secs. Ade, with 6'3", 16 stone Usyk cleaning up on work rate, does that show that the 70s to 90s fighters could outwork today's big guns? Yeah, it does. It does, right? I mean, you're right. It's not a size game. The problem is, I think Fury makes it a size game. Ultimately, Fury's just too big for these guys. That's simple answer. He's just too big, and he moves like he's not big. So he'll be a problem for any boxer in the history of the sport in heavyweights because he's 6'8", nearly 20 stone, and moves like he's 6'4" and 16 stone. So he'll be a big problem. But you are correct. A lot of the heavyweights from the 70s, 80s, and 90s would cause these guys a problem because not only that, but obviously remember they used to go 15 rounds, so they got the gas tanks as well to do it. And they were fighting each other like back to back to back. So it was top level opponents all the time. So yeah, some of the fighters would be a big problem. What's this one? I think I answered it now, brother. Triple R missed my £5 super chat. I think I answered it now. Apologies if I haven't. Okay, a lot of you guys are answering the question about why did Wilder never fight Vlad, and you're saying Shelly Finkel stopped Wilder from fighting Vlad. Okay, makes sense. Because I was thinking, like, why would they have not fought? Strange. All right, all right, guys, last 5 minutes. Let's see. Hatman talks about Wilder ducking Klitschko all the time. Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe I'm just not caught up with that, but probably did. Hatman's he's so good. I love Hatman's channel. I love him. Absolutely love him. Ade, top 5 UK boxing UK channels. Mine are you, G-Man, Hatman, Sporting Icons, and Fight Disciples. I don't know. I like Punch Perfect. I think he's started again, hasn't he? Which is good. G-Man, obviously. The undefeated guys, Trav and KG. You gotta love them. Hatman, Hatman motivates me because I always look at and watch Hatman's videos. I look at his subscriber numbers. I love the way in which he does it. I think Hatman's the number one. All right, guys. Please listen to the beautiful Karma Serene. Take a minute and press the like button if you haven't already done so. Please do it for me if you can. It does help the live. And I promise if you do it, we are going to do way more lives. Ade, what do you bench? My highest ever bench was 20, 40, 60, 70. So that's 70. What's that? 140 and the bar. So my highest ever bench is 160 kilos. Don't know what that is in pounds, but that's my highest bench. Gareth his neck out. Never once seen him give an opinion that surprised me. No comment. You might be right. Good old Gareth A. Davis. All right, last one. Little super chats come. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, I see you guys are wanting to do some movie talk. I see it. We might stay and do some movie talk. Reeves 600 says, big up Ade. Would you class Lomachenko a generational great if he retired today? One of the most fascinating fighters I've ever watched live. That's such a good question, because I guess you have to separate the amateur career. And if you separate the amateur career, he's lost 3 times. 3 times. Salido, although Salido came in a bit overweight, was a defeat. Teofimo Lopez, a defeat, and Devin Haney. So is that a generational great? Probably isn't a generational great. But, history is not going to be good to Loma, because the stats are not going to, his professional stats are not going to back up how good he was. Like, Loma is an incredible fighter. And let's be honest, I mean, Loma should be fighting at 126. Like, he's so much smaller than these guys at 135. But those that were around to watch him fight will appreciate him more than the guys that are going to look back in 30 years and, yeah, there was an okay fighter from Ukraine. It was more than okay. He was special, beyond special. Someone's giving me some movie advice. We're going to read it in a minute. Vlad offered Wilder step-aside dollars to fight Stavern. Wilder refused, and Vlad never sought the WBC again. Those are the facts. Okay, cheers. That's interesting to know. It's interesting to know. So I guess by the logic here, I think most people are saying that that Vlad would have beaten Deontay Wilder. FFS, for fuck's sake, it's John. Do you know who is the next lead presenter after Laura Woods left? Hope you get it. It's me. I'm the lead presenter for DAZN. It's not really been announced, but Laura wasn't really announced either. Do you remember when it was Maya Jama? It wasn't like Laura was announced as the lead presenter. Laura just started presenting. So I think that's kind of the same with me. I'm just doing it now that Laura's gone. And I did it a few times when Laura was there anyway. But yeah, it's me. All right, guys, girls, we are done. Okay, well, 1 second. What's this film? If you need a film to watch, either try Dead Man's Shoes or Kneel by Mouth for some classic material. Nice. What's this Oppenheimer thing everyone's telling me about? Do I need to watch that? Can someone, before you guys go, 478 of you, this Oppenheimer film, what is it? Please. What is it? I need to know about it. Oppenheimer. Yeah, is it any good? This one. I need a thumbs up or let me know if it's good because I'm gonna. Reese is saying it's superb. Anyone else? Someone said never heard of it. So this is the film I'm talking about. This one that Carl Davis has put up here. Anyone watched it else? Someone said, "Are you living under a rock?" Never heard of it. Honestly, never heard of it. 3 hours. Oh, for fuck's sake, 3 hours. It's about the atomic first bomb. But is it good? But see, people are telling me what it is. Oh, overrated. Overrated. Yeah, maybe. Oh, it's good. I'm getting it's good. I'm getting it's excellent. Oh, okay, incredible. All right, that's it then. That's the film tonight. I'm gonna have some Greek yogurt. So my snacks, yeah. For those of you that want to know my diet, so my snacks are. So a snack tonight would be some Greek yogurt, which is 70 calories, some blueberries, some strawberries, a bit of peanut butter, and that's it. That's it. Someone says it's intense. All right, guys, we are done. Tomorrow we've got the weigh-in. Katie Hearn has just messaged me. What is she saying? She just said, I'm okay for the weigh-in tomorrow. And the answer is going to be yes, I am okay for the weigh-in tomorrow. I don't know what time the weigh-in is, but we'll find out and we'll get there and we'll do what we need to do. Guys and girls, great to be live again. Peace. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe.